So this is part 2 of Build Your Own Program. What I'm going to break down is what you should be doing if you're a novice, if you're intermediate, and maybe if you're advanced. We're going to be going over exercise selection, reps, sets, what you're going to be doing, and how to build your workouts throughout the week. So let's get started. So if you're new to working out and you've never done any sort of like weightlifting before, just get in the gym, start practicing some movement, start using the machines. So if we are saying you're doing 3 days a week to start off, or even 2, you're going for full body workouts. What does a full body workout look like? So you're going to be doing working your legs, you're going to be working your arms, back and chest. What you may find actually is, arms will come in when you work your back and chest. So you're probably thinking, so how do I work these exercises? How do I work these out? So using compound exercises, like I said in the first video, you're going to be using multiple joint exercises. So for legs, you could be doing some squats, lunges, and some deadlifts or toe touches. That will cover your legs. If you're new to working out, those 3, that's all you're going to need to build your legs. Working your back, that's anything that's a pulling motion is going to be working your back muscles. Anything that's a pushing motion will be using your chest and triceps. So back is pulling, and that will use your biceps as well, so that's where we're building the arms. And chest and shoulders is anything that's pushing and pushing up. As I said, that's going to work your triceps as well. So with back is a pull motion. So anything that you feel like you're pulling a weight or a band or anything with resistance and it requires pulling, that is a back exercise. Anything you are pushing or having to push down or push up, that is your chest and shoulder exercises. So that's all you need to do for your first. So if you're completely new to working out and you're doing 3 days a week, do a leg exercise, do a back exercise, do a chest and shoulder exercise. Do 3 exercises, do 3 sets. Find a rep range that you enjoy doing. So say if you enjoy doing 3 sets of 10, make sure that 3 sets of 10 is a good struggle. Like that last rep of your 3rd set is a real push. And that's where you're going to be to find a nice balance. You're going to push your muscles to grow. You're not going to feel too crippled the next day from pushing too hard. Like the most important thing is enjoying it so that you want to go back the next day. So let's get past that. So someone who's been to the gym a few times, they know what they're doing, and they want to start building a program so they can start seeing some good gains. So what we've got is for a novice, intermediate, and advanced, we all have different sort of tolerances to how much volume we need. And as we go into volume, it's going to be how many sets per muscle group we can do. So as we build our workout out throughout the week, if we are doing 3 workout days per muscle group for a novice, so say if we were going to say legs, for each movement, we need to do 10 to 12 sets per week just on legs. So we can split that up over 3 days. You've got 3 exercises with 3 sets. That would be a big enough stimulus for someone who is new to working out to start growing muscle and start seeing some good gains. Intermediate is going to be anywhere between 13 and 15 sets per week. So that could be either 3, 4 or 5 days broken down of how you're going to get 13 to 15 sets on your legs. I really suggest that once for frequency, like I said, we split that up over 3 days. Let's go with frequency. That's 2 to 3 days. This will be split over, this could be split between, depending on how, you go with 3 to 4 days, maybe even 5, split over 5 days. And then advanced, you're going to be going anywhere between 16 to 20 sets. As I said, I really don't feel as if many people in this group are going to be at this advanced stage. and that would be spread over 5 to 6 days. A lot of us, I believe, are in this novice to intermediate stage. It takes a very long time to come out of the intermediate stage. A lot of people think that they need to push 16 to 20 sets, but really they could probably be making some brilliant gains from 10 to 12 and then enjoying the recovery and seeing a lot more strength improvements. So now we know how many sets per muscle group. As I said, that's chest, that's any pushing movement, that's any pulling movement. So we need to work out how to break this down throughout the week. So let's rub this off. So if we were looking at, we'll go with a full body at first, breaking it down. So day one, so we've got Monday, we've got Wednesday, and we've got Friday. Keeping this super simple. So we've got our full body workouts on each day. So what we're going to do, so I'm going to put a leg exercises first. So I'll put leg, and legs. So for this, we can do a squat variant. We can do a deadlift. And we can do a lunge. If we want to build our quads more, let's say we're going to do, so sets, we've got 3 sets there, we've got 3 sets there, and we've got 3 sets there. So we've got 9 sets altogether already for legs. We're almost at that 10 to 12 range. All we need to do is add 1 accessory movement, maybe a leg extension later on in the week, and we've hit our legs ample enough. But anyway, let's go on to the next exercise. So let's go on to a push exercise. Maybe we'll want to do bench press that day, hitting 3 sets. And then we're going to go for our next day, we're going to go for a overhead shoulder press. Overhead press. And we're going to do 3 sets of that. And then on our last day for a push, we're going to go on a machine and do a seated chest press. And we've got 3 sets of that. We're going to now move on to our pull exercise. As I said, this is very simple, but this will literally, you'll be able to get your workouts done in about 40 minutes, get a great stimulus on the muscles, come away, you're not spending hours in the gym just guessing what you should be doing. So pull exercises, we could go for a lat pull down, we could go for a barbell row, write the sets down, and we can go for, let's move these out of the way, go for a seated row. There we are, so we've now got 9 sets on our seated row, so now move, not on our seated row, on our back exercises. So on each of these days we need to just bulk up a little bit more so we could get another exercise. So let's do a nice arm exercise, and we will go with a bicep curl. Do 3 sets. We'll go for a tricep extension. 3 sets. And we're going to go for a shoulder exercise. And do a lat raise. These exercises, as I said, they're just going to boost that volume up that little bit more. As we become a little bit more experienced, we can maybe go on to 4 sets, or we can add more exercises. This is just to give you a good idea of what you should be doing for like a full body workout on a 3-day split. So now if you wanted to do 4 days and you wanted to do an upper lower sort of split, or an upper lower full body, how to build out your workout. So let's get rid of that, let's change pen, let's change it up. So we've got upper, lower, upper, and lower. 4 days a week you're training. So on the first day, we're going to be doing 2 exercises on back and 2 exercises, so 2 push and 2 pull exercises, and we'll alternate them so we've got a bit of rest in between for each exercise. So on our first upper day, we'll do bench. After that, we can do a rack row. After that, we can do a seated shoulder press. And then finish off with a bicep exercise, like a bicep curl. Now, why am I only doing 4 exercises? Like I said, because if we're doing too many exercises and adding too many sets, our volume's going to be too high. We're not going to be able to recover from it. So making sure that we've got plenty of stimulus from these exercises to send a big enough signal to our muscles to grow. If we're only doing 1 or 2 sets, it's not enough accumulation and wear and tear on the muscles for it to send a big enough signal. So 3 sets is kind of a good starting number, and as you get more intermediate, more advanced, that's when you can kind of push the volume a little bit more. But if you're still making great gains on 3 sets, why do more? We want to be in there for as little time as possible and elicit the most gains. So there we are, we've got our first upper day. Lower day, go for a squat. A hip hinge pattern, so we can either go with an RDL, Romanian deadlift, or anything that works the hamstrings. Then we can go for a leg extension, and then some calf raises. As I said, these programs are mainly based around hypertrophy, so if you wanted to build more muscle and strength. So I've got 3 lower days. We're on another upper day, don't we? Upper, lower, upper, lower. So on this first one, we may do a seated shoulder press or overhead press. After that, we are then going to go into a back exercise. We could do a pull-up or a chin-up. After that, we're going to then go back onto, so maybe some flies, just to work the chest to get a bit more isolated. Or if you want to do like a seated dumbbell press, a bench dumbbell press, anything like that, it's another push movement. And then after that, we could boost our, depending on whether you want to build your biceps or triceps more, you can either do a bicep and tricep exercises, just to add a little bit more volume. Because you've done flies, it might be better to do a bit more triceps, because flies are more of an isolation exercise. And lower, going on to what you're going to do for your last day. So you can either do a deadlift. These are just examples, guys. You can kind of choose your own exercises. There's plenty of exercises that you can find on the internet. As long as you're following this general basis, you're going to give yourself the biggest bang for your buck, so you're hitting all your muscles as much as you can. Deadlift, then we're going to go on to a split squat. Oh, started off with the wrong letter. Split squat. Then do some seated hamstring curls. Hamstring curls. And then maybe do, if you need to build up your calves a little bit more, do another calf raise, or go on to another sort of another leg exercises which isn't going to be too demanding. So as soon as you've done deadlift, you can either swap one of those out and maybe go on to the leg press, something where you're supported. Or, as I said, if you want to build a bit more quads, maybe just do leg extension again, but maybe in a different rep range, which I'm about to get onto now. So as I said, these all 3 sets, 3, 3, 3, and this is all going to accumulate to around about 12 to 15 sets on each muscle group, which is, as I say, is going to be in between that intermediate, near the end of the novice sort of range. And once you build that up and you keep getting better and stronger, keep rolling with it. Don't change program. If you're getting stronger, keep pushing and pushing, because that's what your body's going to adapt to. It needs to be stressed in the right sort of level. If you keep on chopping and changing exercises, your body's then got to change and then work out what it's doing to get stronger with that. Instead, why take away the stimulus of you getting stronger? If you want your muscles to get bigger, they need to get stronger. coming away. Now, so now we know roughly sort of as a game plan what we're doing when we're going into the gym. 4 exercises, roughly about 3 sets on each exercise. That's really going to give you a good base for you to go off. Moving on, so we're now going on to the sets and reps, not sets, the sort of reps. So when you're trying to build muscle, anything between, reps per set. And so when you're trying to build muscle, it's anything between the 5 and 30 rep range. Now for compound movements like the heavy lifts, I would stick more between the 5 to 10 range for heavy compounds, because that's going to be very demanding on your central nervous system. To be lifting a heavy amount of weight for multiple amount of reps is going to become very taxing on your body. So keep between the 5 and 10 rep range, and that could be, so maybe 1 week you're doing, so for an example, if you're doing squats, 1 week you're doing, so let's say 100 kilo for 5 reps. Next week you're going to maybe push 105. This is if you're a newbie, because you might gain strength pretty quickly. Then after that, 110. And keep progressing like that until you stall, and then you can't progress any further. Then have a little deload, to have a little lighter week, and then go back on it again. And you should be able to recover quickly enough to carry on progressing. And then once you're past that stage, you then move on to an intermediate sort of range. So we've now got the rep ranges 5 to 30. So what exercise are we going to be doing in this higher range between this 11 and 30 rep range? So this could be anything from like isolation exercises or single leg exercises, because it's less demanding, there's less weight. We're not going to be moving as much weight. It's not going to hit our central nervous system as much. So anything with like leg extensions, bicep curls, some lunges, some light lunges. These are we can do all in the lighter rep ranges. Anything on the heavier, like the deadlifts, you don't want to be going over 10, because like I said, it's such a demand on the lower back as well. You're gonna feel fried by the end of it. So there's your rep ranges, 5 to 30. So on where we set out our 4 days, the big exercises, we're going for 5 to 10 reps. And then on the lower exercises, the secondary exercises, anything between 11 and 30 is still good. So how to progress week to week. This is what we want to be doing. So a novice on compound movements. So on the big movements, you want to be going up 5 kilo every week. And then on the smaller movements, 2.5 kilo every week. So if we started on, like I said, for 100 kilo, you'd be going up to 105, 110, 115, and so on. And then for maybe like a bicep curl, you're starting off at 5 kilo, then 7.5, and then 10. And then, as I said, for something like I said, a small isolation exercise, it's going to very quickly slow down and become hard to increase that weight. So what do you do next? Do you add sets? No, not yet. No. Let's get rid of novice. Once we start stalling, progress starts stalling, the way to progress forward is then to start changing our rep scheme. So if we've done the first 12 weeks of our program, and we've built up a good base and our bench, and now it's starting to slow down, we can't increase it. So if we started on 50 and we're going up every 5, and we're going along a long way, and we've got up to 75, goes to the next week and we can't lift more than 75. So what do? We can either increase it in smaller amounts by like 2.5 kilo, or we can do like 1 kilo increments and just keep increasing it that way. Or we can increase the reps. So say if we were doing 5 reps, we'll go for 75 and then maybe hit 6 reps, go for 75 and hit 7 reps, and then increase the weight, and then go back to 5 reps and increase it that way. We could keep on pushing our progression further and further this way This is what we want to be doing. We want to be getting stronger every session. If we find we're hitting 75 and we can't get past that, and we've gone stuck on that for a good few weeks, you're not recovering enough, you've not got enough time for recovery, you're not fueling yourself properly, and as I said, you're therefore going to just keep eating away at the muscle and it's not going to be able to adapt. So if you're not getting stronger every week, there's a problem with your program, there's a problem with your nutrition. If you need help with that, get on a message with me, we could get you sorted on the right way. But as I said, so that's how to progress with your reps. With your programs, moving from one program to the next, it's pretty much a case of if you are still getting stronger with the program, maybe just make a few slight changes. Maybe change an exercise that you're not enjoying, and you want to put in something that you would enjoy, something that's going to make you carry on wanting to go. There's multiple factors that is going to make you carry on wanting to carry on training. One is seeing progress. If you're going in the gym and you are not monitoring what you are doing, if you're not writing down the weights that you are doing, how are you going to know whether you're progressing or not? One, hopefully I can spell this right. Right, am I doing this right? Nope, I'm spelling that wrong. Physiological. God, this is a real test. Physiological. Noticing your body changing. After that, your strength. If you're not seeing strength improvements, then your program's wrong. And lastly, probably the most important, whether you're actually enjoying your program. You don't want to be dreading it every single time. So build your program with all of these in mind. Are you going to be seeing progress? Is it going to follow your goals that you have set? If you are trying to build more muscle, is it creating that adaptation for you? Are you gaining strength? If you're not gaining strength in your program, there's something wrong along the lines, like I said, with your nutrition or your ability to recover. And lastly, your enjoyment. You've got to be enjoying what you're doing going in the gym. You don't want to be going in there dreading absolutely every single workout. Lifting might not be for everyone. I'm not saying it is, but building muscle is going to make you feel better. It's going to help you burn fat. It, as I say, has great improvements on testosterone and many more. You don't really want to hear about all of that. It's a bit boring. So get in the gym. If you need a program, reach out to me. But I've broken down everything what you need to do to get into the gym, know what you got to do to build more muscle. Cheers, guys.